second there.
So the other,
This might not look good
the
from
other
the
thing
back.
that just out of curiosity.
Wow.
Wait, is there a potential to do both where if you've gone, no.
Oh, there's a sheriff right there. It must be open to the public because there's a lot of people sitting in there. I don't know.
Hi there.
Hello.
Can I help you?
I'm just looking around. That's from 1963, it says. Interesting. How much has it expanded since 63? Everybody in the treasurer's office already left. The clerk's office is still full.
Can I help you guys with something?
Nah, we're just looking around, thanks.
Looking around for what?
Just looking around. Oh, sorry.
This is gonna get interesting.
What's that?
It's gonna get interesting to them all. Okay. Hi.
How's it going?
Okay.
Just let me know if you have to say any personal information. I'll mute my camera.
Is there something that we can help you with? Sir? Is there something we can help you with?
No, I'm all set, thanks.
What is it that you're trying to do?
Record.
For what?
My own purposes?
You have a case or something that you need help with?
Nope. I'm all set, thanks.
I need help though.
I know, I'm on the phone real quick.
You can help someone that doesn't need help, but you can't help someone who does.
Right? She's probably calling 911.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Is there something we can help you with?
Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, well, I mean, there's customers here that might not want you
Well, this is a
videoing.
public road, this is a public.
It is public, but there's people who that do a lot of work in our counter that they may not want you to
I
know.
understand that, and
Okay,
you as a
just so you
public
know.
employee, you would be responsible to create that privacy for them.
No,
Just
this
so
is,
you know. No, this is a public lobby.
it is
And
a
this is
public
the First
lobby.
Amendment, and this is filming in a public lobby.
I know that,
I'm
I'm
just
just saying
saying.
that there's customers here in the lobby.
Oh, I totally understand.
Okay,
But I'm just
alright,
saying,
just
if
so
you
you know.
want, you would just create your own privacy for them, and then that would alleviate the issue, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, Kimberly, are you still waiting?
Yes. I need to rescind that marriage license. I called around and my attorney and she said that your policies are different. And I called 3 other counties. I called Grand Traverse, Roscommon, and Oakland County. And they said that my full name on my driver's license and my social security card is my legal name and that it should be put on the application.
How's it going? I bet it gets pretty hot in that room with that thing in there, doesn't it?
It is. He was nice enough to say that that was a public meeting.
I kind of figured it
Yeah,
was.
it looked like it.
Yeah. Cool.
That's cool.
Yep. Where'd that angry lady go? Persecutor's office.
It's such a beautiful day and there's so much to be happy about.
Of course, the persecutor's office is closed.
Oh, we gotta pass it
Going behind closed doors. Oh, friend of the crotch. Oh, of course, they're closed too. Dang it, we got here too late. Half the place already vacated. Heck, I'm gonna go in that public meeting. Pop a squat. Or at least stand at the back. Oh darn, we missed it.
Oh, no, it's just a break. so-
Oh, okay.
How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good, good. How you doing?
God darn near perfect.
So what's all being discussed in this meeting?
This is county affairs meeting, so just different.
Is there like an agenda for it or?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, can I get one? I guess I can
Extra
right there.
agendas there. That might be. Depends, yeah, here, I think you might have set stuff on top. Well, there were other agendas here, where'd they go? Did they all get picked up? No, that's fine.
Here they are here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
okay, I don't know where they ended up.
That's
There
where
you go,
they're at.
yep,
There you go, sir.
here.
Thank you, sir.
Shift over here.
They just,
And
took
here's
a break
public
for
input.
10 minutes to take a walk around.
Right on.
And there is a public input.
And there's a public input right here if you guys wanted to say anything or put any input in.
Okay.
Oh, cool, cool.
They won't talk back with you, they'll just
Pass.
accept your
Right.
information.
As long as the people get to say what they need to say.
That's public
what's-
input, yeah.
Right, that's what's
That's your
important.
I mean,
point.
with, I just wondered,
We
yeah. Yeah.
They still charge insurance.
Okay.
also phone calls and trying to catch up.
Sure, okay. Yeah. All right. And I didn't always think of the out-of-state things, like North Litchfield versus, I don't know, the things of urgent care. I need more people to, also,
Joanne said,
what?
Joanne said that.
Okay, thank you.
No,
The
no, it
urgent
is.
care thing is an issue, and I was talking to Emily because working, I said, what do you do there? And she said, they are told if they don't want to wait, just go to the ER. So,
Okay, a few minutes.
yeah,
And we get $260 bills.
yeah, no, and I said, it just doesn't make sense.
No.
I don't know.
So we'll
I guess-
have, we got a few more minutes before they.
And are you scheduled for that workshop? I'm going to that workshop? Six? Let me
Today,
grab it. It is today.
no pressure. There's quite a bit left on the agenda, so,
Well, I'll get through my stuff fairly.
all right, we appreciate that, sir. I'll make sure this goes to Commissioner.
So are you the sheriff or?
I am the sheriff. yeah.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Pat Whiteford.
Pat Wyford. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to meet constitutional law enforcement. Sadly, there are many that wear the same badge that don't act the same way.
Different people all around, right?
That's right, yep.
Their own-
And that's why we come out to different communities to try to help educate both the citizens and the law enforcement.
Are you guys with a certain organization then, or?
No, we're independent.
Independent.
Should remind. Remind Elmeyers, we're on a short break.
I think the health department called your office.
A few things.
So we went over
Oh,
there
there's a few, and I see.
okay.
and they thought we couldn't record in there.
So at least I'm
We tried to explain it to them, but you know, they were irate women, so.
They,
convenient,
they,
like to make sure we cover.
yeah, I don't know if they probably called over or just,
Mhm.
but nobody showed up, right?
We didn't stick around because we knew this building was gonna be closing soon, so we just walked right over here.
I'll make,
I got a note, I got it.
We told them not to call because it's a waste of resources, but
Was at
Is
6
it?
o'clock.
I didn't know they were open, so.
yeah, they closed at 4:30, so we had to leave. We could have stood up front, but what's the point?
we said 10 minutes.
Nice looking brick buildings.
So we have a
Right.
drink coffee and.
It's a workshop at 6.
Oh, you want a couple more minutes, you said?
Railroad Square.
Not a lot, but a few.
Some of them were the workshop. You had a chance to go. You didn't have to sign up, but they
Oh,
wanted
okay.
some
Trying
kind
to figure
of.
out what this document, I think
Okay.
I am
Okay.
somewhat parenting duty tonight.
Okay, all right.
That's always fun.
Okay,
I have 5 of them.
okay.
It never ends.
Okay.
That's why I'm losing my hair.
I tried to enlarge those so you could read them, the minutes, but I can always do that. Are you ready to start?
We had to.
Oh, first page.
There you go. He said he'd be right back.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've got all teenagers.
So you have this.
So it's just, you know, making sure.
I have an adult daughter that's given me 2 grandkids and 1 other adult daughter, and the rest are teenagers.
So granted that, thankfully.
Give it time, you'll have some.
Evidently. the one
Grandkids
I
are
bought
great
was
because you get to
2 different
pack
agencies.
them full of sugar and send them back to mom.
So we have this one and we have this one.
And then when they call complaining, you can just say paybacks or hell. Yep.
Yeah, that is, there's something.
Charles will be here tomorrow. I'm gonna ask him to take a look
Something
at
has
it.
changed in the focus. I mean, I do, besides being way off center.
So this is the, so 270.
Yeah, that has to do with them.
That's,
Okay,
that's,
so, yeah,
All right.
I guess we still have 2 minutes. We said 10 minutes or call the chairs.
so we're all back. All right, let's go ahead and restart the recorders. And I will, reconvene from recess at, what is that, 4:57? 4:47, that's what I meant.
447, that's
I, you know, it's an analog clock, I expect you to be able to read it.
No problem, sir.
All right, so, with that, let's go ahead and take up, Sheriff, you wanna start with the IT report and then go on?
Sure, like I said, I know there's a lot of agendas, so I'll, stop me if you've got any questions. In a nutshell, in regards to the IT end of business with the move, we've got drops put everywhere that we need to, with the exception of the sheriff's department. We're just waiting on construction now, so the drops in here are done, COA, MSU, we're just waiting for the actual walls, construction, that kind of stuff to finalize that stuff, so. Other than that, we will be walking through the CMH side of the building tomorrow morning to,
What time?
8:30. So we're gonna go in there just to, I haven't been in there to visualize how we could redo that. I mean, I've got some layouts or maps, but just so I can put my eyes on stuff.
If I can, I'll try to be here.
Okay.
I walked through that with,
Mr. Bowl?
yeah, with Major 2 weeks ago for my surgery, so we talked a little bit about that, so.
So we just wanna look at like the ability, you know, how we can set that up. like I said, that, you know, we've got some goals of making sure that we can put some monitoring systems to be able to watch the jail and that piece of it there, so. We just wanna make sure we can lay that all out and how much we can actually move over there, with dispatch being the priority and administration, the, kind of the second wave of that, so. So that's really what we had from an IT standpoint. Did I miss anything from our committee meeting yesterday that we wanted to,
I don't think so, no, I think we got it.
Okay.
Yep.
On the sheriff's office side of things, so I presented, after we did, the contracts. Rapid River had asked for a contract proposal for law enforcement services. They've wavered on that a little bit now. They're trying to resolve some of the issues themselves with ordinances, and that. So that may not be for a month or two at this point. The school contracts, you know, those are September 1st through June 30th, basically. Those are both at the school board level to consider those. Again, would be the same guidelines, so, the board approved, basically the schools are paid for 30 hours a week, and then the board's picking up with the balance of that, so. And that's actually to answer one of the insurance questions, that's where that extra officer came from last year, so.
I suspected that when you mentioned that, when I know our staffing level's the same,
Except for that, yep. And then, the couple of the things that I put in the packets, there was 2 quotes for the animal control fence grant that we applied for, and were awarded the $24,000.
What was that, 270?
Yep, the 270, so there's 3 documents.
This one.
This one, right?
Oh, there it is, yep. So there's 3 documents related to that. There was the perfect fence quote that we originally got, and then we have an updated mile fence quote, and then there's the change order document. And that's what this 270 document is for signature. What we did is, Mile Fence does a lot of work for the county. They did the fairgrounds and all that. So, they came in $100 less than the perfect fence. When I originally did the grant, I had to have it in, so I used the quote I had, which was the perfect fence. We then followed up with the mile quote, so I would like just a motion and approval to switch to the mile quote to utilize them for the actual fencing project.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, by consensus to do that.
Consensus, yes.
So once the board approves, I just need that for grant purposes, for the chairman to sign that document.
You got an original, or are you gonna sign this one?
They're all copies, so whatever one you want to sign.
Oh,
I have
okay.
one,
Do
I
you
have
have
one
an
in a
original?
signature folder once the board approves it.
Okay, that's
Right?
fine. So
Yeah.
once the board approves.
Once the board
it goes
approves it,
Wednesday.
yep.
So you have the original,
Well, I will
or
have,
one?
I mean, I have this.
You have one.
I have what you have.
They're all copies.
I have what you have.
We got all the copies.
So what is that motion, just to sign
Consensus
this?
yes to allow the chair to
That's
sign
it?
the grant
Okay.
modification agreement for 270 Inc.
Okay,
Yep. The other thing that I don't know if the board would like the motion, that I would ask the motion on, so based on these 2 grants, there are 2 primary fence companies that we utilize. The amount is $23,859, the mile fence, quote, so just to bring it, that we did get 2 separate quotes for the project, and that, the board is willing to accept the mile fence quote. Fence company quote.
so that's another motion.
Consensus yes to accept the
The mile,
fence
yep.
quote for the Kalkaska Animal Control Shelter at $23,859.00 even, correct?
Yep.
Alright,
And I will try to get a better copy of that versus a picture of the.
please, I should see another.
All right, so, the last thing that, well, two other things, just for general sorry.
Cause revise is in there, were you gonna just touch on that too? We got that on this list here, the revised review.
So I can, to back up a little bit, revise, you know, we talked about, upgrading the county website, make it more user-friendly for the public. What we wanna do is we want to, at a department head meeting, basically get the consensus from the group, kind of a majority rules, scenario to say, okay, do we want something similar to county A, B, or C? Which one we wanna go with at that point, and then once we have that consensus, engage with Revise to make those changes, and then construction codes is the one that really wants the, forms on the backside to kinda, have Mark Raymond engage with Revise to start building the forms and take that project on from their standpoint.
The EDC has questions about this also, so would Revise be the company to get a hold of? They would like some changes, apparently there's some broken links on their side of the information on the county. We were just made aware of it the other day, sitting at the meeting, the Kalkaska EDC said apparently there's a tab on our website, and they just said it's got a broken link on it the last time a member tried to use it, so. It just
Yeah,
came up,
okay.
I was here at that
So-
meeting.
Okay.
So probably, actually, I don't know if, who the clerk's office is managing that, or if Joanne,
Okay.
can just put a new link on there, whatever the new link is,
Alright.
on their website.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got authority to make
Go
those
back to
kinds
your
of changes, we
office.
don't
Dawn
need to
was
get a
doing
revised
it,
vote.
Dawn was doing those things, is Joanne still, I didn't know Joanne was still doing it.
Well, it just came up, they just
Oh,
wanted to know who they should
Julie's been
contact.
communicating with Revise, got construction codes there access.
Okay. So maybe Julie, because it's just a copy and paste the new,
Okay.
That's what I told them, I
Okay.
thought it was
Alright.
cut and paste now, it wasn't not a lot of full programming. Okay, so I'll coordinate that through you, Doug, I'll see if I can get the
Okay.
specific issue and we'll get it addressed then, thank you.
Okay, and I interrupted you because I got you onto that topic, so where were we going before? Sorry.
no problem. So you have some micro writing.
No. Okay, no, I can't read that.
Nor I.
So this was
Assuming
just,
They're minutes, right? From-
they are minutes from July 14th of 1998.
Wow.
And basically, I think it was last month or during discussion, it came up about the, how the annex came about and what the funds were for purchasing. So these minutes are basically the board's motion back then to purchase that. It references, in some discussion that I guess the county paid 500 and dispatch paid 400. That's how they were going to divvy it up. That was an answer in that. I still think if there's any way that we historically look at actual transaction records, that supports this, but
Wow.
this is what I searched for through the minutes, was to find when the original purchase and the discussion against the original purchase was.
Okay, so the reason that came up is because we're talking about what we're gonna do with the
Right.
assets from the sale of the.
Potential disposition.
Right, and it's just kind of a question that I have, I don't know whether this makes any sense or not, but we are allocating, basically $400,000 for the move of the, dispatch from their current location over there over to here, right? And how does that play into that whole question, right?
You could use that as.
Yeah,
And then they're gonna say, we didn't wanna move, you're like, well, the building's being sold.
Right.
We don't really have a choice.
So my business manager side of me would say, absolutely, there's a value, is the 400,000 completely allocated to the dispatch move? No, that's not, it's a collective move. But I would argue that if the building sells for, 1.8 million, that then they would see the profit to dispatch at that point. Now, there's probably some further discussion of, okay, let's cover the move and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But I guess that would be, I just wanted, the topic came up, I wanted to bring it that, yes.
So was there,
a-
because I can't read this, but was there a,
We can get the original, this was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
what you'd have
yeah,
before.
so do we think that there was a solid commitment or something that if the sale occurred, that there would, I don't know.
I don't think that was probably even in the discussion
Okay.
that I found. I mean, there was nothing I found that says, hey, in the future, if you sell this,
Okay,
here's the
You
split
would've
of
thought
that, so.
they should have, I mean, even in what is the deed, like, we should have the deed pulled up for the property
Right.
to see if there was an encumbrance of
Just
some
right
kind that
inside.
says, hey, this is the partnership agreement or
And I don't-
something.
I'm not
We just
interested
need
in
to
creating any
research
kind
that.
of diffifculty, I just wanna make sure we know where
Oh,
we're at.
no, you wouldn't be creating a difficulty, we just need to tie everything off
Yep.
to say if
Yep.
that's an impediment
Absolutely.
at all, we need to
And,
address
and
it.
again, just for auditing purposes, if it ever came back, we'd wanna know how that all
Exactly.
transpired.
Absolutely.
All right, so that was the annex purchase minutes, topic that I wanted to cover. The last thing I do wanna bring, it came up again in the, insurance audit. We have, I guess, enough county property again that we wanna look at doing a sale disposal of assets. At some point, obviously, as we're transitioning some of the moves throughout the complex, there's extra materials. What I would like to do is, one, use the annex as kind of the collection hub of everything, and then as we go through and start to do the sheriff's sales, I mean, the sheriff's department will have, property that needs to be disposed of, but if the county has property too,
Take it all over to one
we wanna
location.
take it over to one location and do a public sale at that point.
And sell by lots.
Well,
Basically, rather than trying to sell individual items.
not that I didn't gain a lot of great experience from trying to be an auctioneer item by item. I've got my knowledge and I want to move past that at this point. So I think a lot sale of some of this stuff is the most beneficial way to do that. That way we can open it up for public viewing, and then whether we do a live bid or a closed bid on some of these lots.
Is there any benefit to like an online, is there a
Well,
particular
because we've got a
mechanism for us to do
bunch of
that?
computer equipment.
Right.
Just.
I mean,
But
I
you're
think-
saying you'd put a bunch, you're gonna make lots of that.
Yeah, I think if we separate it lots, we have enough space over there to do that. We can have public viewings, do that, and then advertise on Facebook, website. I don't know if we wanna hit one of those big county distribution sales sites or not, but some of the computer stuff, we may want to, just because there is a market for that. So, I guess I don't know if we need a motion this month, or, because it's not gonna be in August. I mean, I'd like to do this
Right,
after
until
we really get.
Until you start the move and you start
Right.
getting some space to actually do that. right?
Well, and then that way, as we filter out and find out what we need, what we're gonna keep, I mean, I hate to sell a file cabinet that we're gonna turn around and need a file cabinet after we move this, or vice versa, we have 10 file cabinets.
Well, the last time we did it, everyone took their surplus stuff, right, and then there was that conversation with every staff member of the county to say, here's what is surplus. If you have a need,
Right,
please come get, right, let the sheriff know I'm going to take one of your file cabinets, he deducts it off, we
Right.
now add it to your asset.
Right.
So that, we would do the same thing again this time to say,
so if everybody can, if the board motions to do another countywide auction, everybody brings their extras over, we'll put them in the annex at someplace, do a prep for a sale, everyone can come through, pick out what they want, if there's any needs for anything. The other thing that there's a disposal, we've gotta write it down, because some of the stuff is broke, I mean, there's some stuff that's just not going to sell, so we wanna make sure the board makes a motion to say if it's something that.
if it doesn't.
Just junk, it's junk.
If it's junk, it's junk, and if it doesn't
Got a
sell, it needs to
disposal
be,
plan.
yeah, a disposal plan.
Otherwise, you gotta build it full of junk.
Right, and then we battle doing that, so that's, so I don't know if the board wants to authorize this month to start planning and prepping for an auction sometime late fall, based on kind of the move and.
July, it's gonna be mid-July, so you have August and September, you're only talking
Right.
a couple of
Well,
months, it's
yeah,
not that far ahead.
No, I would say,
It's really not.
let's get started thinking
We better
about
get
it.
started.
So,
So
and
consensus, yes, we need to get
Consensus
started.
and you're thinking October maybe to do
I
the sale?
think, if we're gonna do it in the building over there, we don't have to worry about weather, so, even if we push into, I don't wanna get too late to where,
Because
somebody
November,
couldn't
I
get
mean, we all know
the
that
truck
end
and
of
trailer or
October-
whatever.
We all know end of October is either gonna be okay or not
Right.
okay.
So let's shoot for sometime mid-October, and so
Yeah, no
consensus
later.
motion to, do a,
Should be a
Countywide
broad auction
auction.
in October,
And
yep.
it'll be coordinated with the sheriff's sale.
We
Yep.
set up a consensus then to have a auction
Sure.
So countywide auction, a
Countywide
surplus
auction.
Have you
equipment.
guys ever heard
like
of
mid-October.
publicsurplus.com?
That's what we're talking.
Of coordinated with a sheriff's sale, and it'll be at the annex
You're
property
talking about the annex.
complex. Well, this would be at the annex
Okay.
complex over there, because I'm sure.
After
That way
we've got
it'll be-
everybody moved out and there's room to make use of it, so, yeah.
That's
In-
the
in
meeting time sometime in October.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then that'll give us time to make a plan to move the stuff that's actually at this complex over to that complex, once we have room, so.
That's a lot shorter when you say it like that, it is not a lot of time.
No, it
left
does- it
before
doesn't
that
give us
time
a
of
lot of
year.
time,
I'm like,
so.
my gosh, we're gonna be wearing our snow boots
We have one
again.
other, oh, whatever.
Pat, did you wanna say anything about the cybersecurity drill info?
Yep,
emergency
so,
drills?
I did get a response from, Empiric Solutions, they're working out the program to do cybersecurity drills within the county. Eric Celia said he was just trying to finalize some of the, I guess, the backbone of what we wanna have done, before he presents us with what the plan is to do this, so. Cause again, we've had a significant uptick in spam and.
And, yes, and those 3 key boxes, right?
Right.
That's, we're getting, I know we are, cause I'm seeing them, and I know they're pulling some of them out, and it just says you can't view it, you're never going to view it, right? So even though I might see it and go, I think it's from, and Bob, something on Empiric side is saying, no, it's not, so.
Yeah, our current spam filter, if you get down into what these level 5s, I think. it does
So they've
mention that.
improved it, because I haven't gotten anything in a while.
Correct, you
Right,
should be
so that's-
seeing it in your spam though, right? You see those ones that'll come
Yep.
through and it's like you go,
Yep, the
right?
spam filters, yep,
Okay.
so, good.
Can, I just thought Pat might wanna stick around for opening these bids for medical
Yeah,
examiner.
I do.
You mind?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
And I'm not to interrupt you, Bob, but then the law library, agreement, we tabled that to review with Ryan. We wanted to look at the options for law library with prosecutor,
Okay,
which we have not had a chance to do that since yesterday when we talked about it, okay?
so that's been tabled.
Okay.
Okay, so
Um,
24 hours,
Yeah.
a lot of time.
So the property exchange review,
Property exchange review, that is ready for signature to go, if you think that you need the board's full approval, then that'll go to the meeting next week.
so this is the swap between the,
Van
This is
Drunen?
the
It's
spot,
where
and
government
I think all
entities sell
the
their
concerns
stuff.
have been worked out
And
between
you guys will
council and
make
the
more
title
money if
company
you
he was
use that,
using.
because it'll
The
open it up
only
to the whole
question that
world,
remained was the
basically.
mineral rights, and everybody agrees that the mineral rights are what they are. It's not if the county were to have them, you're not giving them up in your sale agreement. And so, council's been trying to review that with the DNR,
Like if you have
and lots of luck
vehicles you're
getting hold of
selling, you'll
somebody
get
from the
way more
DNR.
money for
and
it.
we resolved the, access.
Correct.
Yes.
But it was,
Yes.
it
Yes.
was not a legitimate
Yes.
concern.
Okay.
And I think the motion,
Okay.
not to interrupt you, but I think the motion was that you were approving it with the review of council, which has been done. So the question is, do you still want to take
If
that?
it was with the
to the full
review
board?
and approval of council and
I
the
think it's
board
ready
already,
to sign.
okay, then that would be all that's
Okay,
left. We
that's
just-
my, that
Let's
was,
just
Right.
look at those minutes again and make sure that that was the
Okay.
motion.
Okay.
So
all right,
the wording of the motion will be what's the most important part.
okay.
If not, the consensus, then I guess so that we don't have to recreate the wheel. So if the consensus is that motion wasn't clear to allow the chair to sign, then, sir, with the consensus, then bring this to next Wednesday's meeting to allow that for the Van Drunen property,
Yeah,
if
Okay, so
necessary.
then I'll pull the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then the annex property process, I communicated with council that new gentleman, Mr. Donald, is working on that process. He said probably what we're gonna start with is a title search or title commitment
okay,
on that, how many acres is over there? I don't even know, but the annex property's all one piece.
right.
And so that's where he thinks we should start. If I have something back from him in time for next Wednesday's meeting that you need to act on, can you do that? I mean, if it's a matter of saying you're gonna motion that, yes, let's have a title search,
Well,
then do that.
I would say we need to, it's just
I
a
agree.
matter of who do we engage to do that.
Well, we
Because
used,
there's a
we
cost.
used Talon Group before to do the
Okay.
one for the tower
And-
issue.
Okay,
That piece of property, I don't know,
Correct.
40 acres there on the corner, we used Talon Group for that before. And I think it was a $400 to $600 fee. I don't think it's
Yeah, it's not a
something you have to
huge
go
fee,
out.
so we're
Yeah.
not something we have
It's not
to,
gonna
Yeah.
trigger our purchasing.
no,
No,
we don't have to
it's
go out and
not.
do
Correct.
bids on it, so.
So
Alright.
anyhow, if there is something, if it's, I'll just get it ready for the meeting next week, if it's,
Okay,
If they have
Yeah.
proposed cost.
yes.
Yep.
Or what's
Okay.
the process? Is that step one, get this done, and then what's that process, so,
Okay.
okay?
I would agree.
Okay.
alright. So do we, I just, maybe this is a dumb question, but if we do a title search now, for our own purposes, right, we might wanna do that, but then we end up having to, and if we actually put it up for sale, then you gotta do it again?
No,
No, I would
No.
think it would cover us, cause it won't
No.
have changed hands again.
that's why you're doing it now, to see if there's any encumbrances
Okay.
that says
he might
maybe the
not
county,
be
maybe
aware
the
of.
county can't
Okay.
sell it.
Right.
I just didn't
And
wanna
you
end up
can't
having
go-
to do it twice.
You can't go forward with doing
No,
what you
I-
wanna do if you don't know what the title or the
Yeah, but
history
it's
is.
very typical, I mean, any sale I've ever been in, the title search occurs after you've got the contract started that says, hey, I wanna buy this.
Right, and it's done by the person selling the property, or
Right.
purchasing the property, right? They say, I want a title search done before I tie into this.
Well, that's what we did with the tower property.
Right, and we're saying at this point, we believe there potentially could have been some encumbrances added to this that we're unaware of. We wanna make sure before we move forward.
Okay.
With the board motion saying, to make sure that those questions are answered.
Okay.
This is one proposal,
Yep.
this is the other.
Okay, thank you.
So.
Alright,
Make sure we're checking everything else. So you talked about cybersecurity.
yeah, I'm going down through the list. We did, BOC minutes regarding the annex. 270 was done, the animal control fencing, revised review, the light barn was pulled off, cause that was already done. Medical examiner is still here.
Alright.
Property exchange review, law library has been tabled, annex property process, we still have these, two resolutions.
There are two
Um,
resolutions that came to me via the group email.
And
that
I
just put
you know,
in
at
for
this
your
point in
review.
time, we can look at those, but you know, it's very late in the day, and I don't know about you guys, but, I don't like to look at a resolution.
I think the one is the same one that gentleman was asking the board to look at, before about the cap regarding the home health care, if you recall, the young man who,
Yes.
okay.
Where he
And
said
the
they're
other
not even
one-
paying, they're not even covering
Yeah,
the
I mean,
wages.
I would
from
want-
them, you know.
More information, I guess, too, from,
What was this one? This was the live barn, so it's
Yeah.
completed. So the Kalkaska County resolution then, the 22
that's regarding that home health
Decap.
care cap that's, the gentleman indicated was, creating difficulties because of the limitations on
Now this door's probably locked. Yeah. That was interesting.